Well, as they say, if I had had a feather this morning at 7:15, you could have knocked me over with it. Someone called in to donate the remaining thousands of dollars we needed to wind up KSFR's fund drive, committing those thousands of dollars to naming rights for the KSFR newsroom and studio. Can't tell you who it is yet. The donor wishes to remain anonymous, but when we get a name put up on the door, we'll be sure to let you know. Anyway, good fundraiser. Many thanks to all who contributed. On today's program, chock full, but we begin with the Environment Secretary Ron Curry talking about what authority the state has to control greenhouse gas emissions. That's right here. Control of greenhouse gas emissions is in the news in New Mexico once again. This time the news is in the form of an announcement from the state's Environmental Improvement Board that the group does, in fact, have the authority to regulate those emissions. A few months ago, the Environmental Improvement Board ruled that cars in New Mexico must meet certain standards for emissions. That caught the opposition of powerful industry groups who questioned the group's authority. Now, what about the most recent announcement? Environment Secretary Ron Curry joins us. This sounds like an important new development.
Yes, it is a new development as far as getting ready to have a hearing on capping the CO2 emissions in the state of New Mexico. It's also, I believe, one of the most significant things that we see come around over the last year is whether they have the authority to do this. And I think their action yesterday reaffirmed the fact that they do have the authority to do that.
And this action yesterday was simply that. It was their saying that we've decided that we do have the authority, therefore if any questions come along, you have to really ask us hard.
That's correct.
Why the EIB? Why not the Environmental Department, your department?
Well, there are some who say we're all the same.
Well, but the EIB is largely a citizen commission, isn't it?
It's all a citizens commission, and the nice thing about it is that it's appointed by the governor. And so you've got the folks that are on there are normal, average citizens. They're not necessarily part of government. They are from this particular EIB is from various parts of the state. And there's also a requirement on the EIB that some of them have to be different political parties. And so that gives it a little, a good fair balance on it. And so I think it's also fair to state that we work very closely with the EIB. When I say that, is that we promulgate almost all the regulations that come before them, either in the area of air quality or solid waste, septic tanks, things like that. So even though we're not part of the decision-making, we put before them, most of the time, regulations that they will be considering. In this particular case, Dr. Fogarty will be bringing some regulations that he is promulgating and hoping that they will act on them. But the Environment Department certainly will weigh in during the course of the hearing from our Air Quality Bureau and others.
Let me see if I have the timeline straight. Some months ago, the Environmental Improvement Board ruled that cars should be regulated for greenhouse gas emissions beginning in 2011. Then there was legislation to put that at 2013. The governor vetoed that. Is this new action an affirmation of the 2011 date?
To a certain extent it is. And when we did that with the clean cars, we also did that in conjunction with the city of Albuquerque. And when the governor vetoed the bill, it was vetoing an attempt by the state legislature to do the. But this is a reaffirmation of the board's authority.
Where does this put New Mexico? Is it lining us up on a par, say, with California in terms of these kinds of commitments to clean air?
I think in some areas we're equal to California. We're a member of the Western Climate Initiative, and along with a number of other western states and provinces in Canada. And so as far as going forward to do a potential cap and trade, we will be a leader with as far as comparing us to some states and on par with California and other areas.
Environment Secretary Ron Curry, many thanks. On At Noon from KSFR.